name's Lindsay, and this over here is Lizzie. Lizzie, give a wave.
Hi.
So we've decided to sort of set up this York group. We're going to go Leeds, but upstairs had other ideas and told me that I needed to organise one here in York. So just a few ground rules. So this is a peaceful walk, so I'll tell you the route we're going to go shortly, and just being mindful of others around us, because there are some children as well. No swearing, please. Yeah, no foul language. And I just have to say it, in terms of COVID and everything else, you know, please keep your distance where possible from others, wear masks if you choose to, and hand wash, etc. Okay? So, just want to say thank you again everyone for coming. This walk wouldn't have been possible without the idea from Tara and Nicole Movavi. So her initial idea was to organise a peaceful walk in Hollywood on the 22nd of August at 2 o'clock, and that has now sort of become a movement. So she wanted to create the awareness of child exploitation and human trafficking. So walks today are being held in 41 states across America, Canada, Belgium, 10 towns and cities across the UK, Netherlands and Spain. The Freedom for the Children Facebook group currently has over 8,000 members and is being run by Laura Ward, who is walking in London today. Since the beginning of lockdown, both Lizzie and I have delved into the rabbit hole, discovering such atrocities and horrific stories of what has and is happening to our children. 112,853 children go missing in the UK. Where are they going? 800,000 children go missing in the US. Where are they going? Our systems are failing our children. Our government is failing our children. When you see how much the human trafficking industry is worth, you can see why. $150 billion. Our children cannot speak up for themselves. We can and have to speak up for them and future generations. Those who we believed would stand up for our children, those in authority in positions of power, have allowed themselves to be bought, to put money and material possessions before our world's greatest asset, our children. No more can this continue. So today we stand together, united on a topic which is not divisive: children. We have all been children, we may have children, we may have grandchildren. We walk for all of them. It's time to stand up, it's time to be brave, and it's time for truth. Our other two speakers will share their stories, and then we will begin our walk, heading over Lendal Bridge, past the railway station, down Micklegate, up High Eastgate and Parliament Street, and then meeting outside of Betty's for a meditation. So I would like to introduce Lizi Walker. Thank you.
We're doing this walk today, as you know, to raise awareness of human trafficking, child abuse, child sex trafficking, satanic ritual abuse, the torture of these innocent children on a daily basis, shipped about in containers, passed around and sold for sex, children in care homes being raped and abused on a daily basis, no safety, no protection, no comfort. This is happening every second of every day in your town, your village, your neighbourhood. This has to stop. We have to stand up and be a voice for the children. We are asking you all to please show your support and take to the streets with us today and be a voice for these children. They need our help. The people involved in this are your average looking family, school teachers, CPS, police, care homes. The very people who claim to be helping these children are the same people who are abusing them. It has been covered up and kept quiet for far too long. It has been going on since the beginning of time, and it is up to us to put a stop to it, to bring all this darkness to light and say no more, this stops now. This is something that's close to everyone's heart, something we can all come together on. The children need us to be their voice. We need to make the world a better place for our children, our grandchildren and our future generations to come. We need to right all the wrong that has been done. We need to stand together on this and say no more, not one more child. In the United Kingdom, an estimated 112,853 children are reported missing every year. One missing child is one too many. 73,260 sexual offences against children were reported in 2019. How many go unreported? 1 in 20 children in the UK have been sexually abused. Thousands of children mysteriously disappear from government care every year, where they are groomed by sex traffickers. Human trafficking earns profits of roughly 150 billion a year for traffickers. An estimated 8 million people are trafficked a year. It is time for us to all rise up, stand up and say enough is enough. This stops now. Our children are not for sale. We are so much more powerful than we have been led to believe, and when we come together we are even more powerful. and that's what they fear, us coming together and stepping into our power. We walk together today with many others across the UK, Europe, Australia and the US. So let us all stand up, walk together and be a voice for the children and say no more, not one more child, this stops now, our children are not for sale. I'd like to introduce Sharron Davies, who would like to say a few words on her experience of growing up in care.
I'm a bit nervous, but
You'll just for yourself on
right. I was in the care system from the age of 4 to 17. I was moved from one children's home to foster parents so many times that I was never able to settle anywhere. In the children's home, we were punished often in ways of beatings and segregation away from others. These punishments would take place for the simplest of things. On the nights, we would get punished for chatting to each other or just jumping into bed with each other, just for comfort. I would often get into my sister's bed to comfort her, as she used to cry often. That was at any time I could get caught, and if I did, we'd be put into isolation in a dark, cold room with just a bed in it. Being a really small child, taken away from my mum, scared and alone, I would often wet the bed, and when that happened, I was told I'd get sewed up if I wet the bed again. In one of the care homes, there was cellars below, and you would hear the cries of the children being abused down there. That children's home is still being investigated now. The beatings we got in the homes were to break your spirit and keep you quiet. We felt alone, isolated, scared and unloved, with no one to care about us or to cuddle us when we was upset. If you tried to speak out about what was happening, you would instantly be called a liar and told you should be grateful that someone's taken you in. We were nobody then, we were nothing. We learned to be visible and blend into the background so that we would get punished. Relationships became hard as you grew up because you were made to suppress your feelings and emotions for fear of punishment. And that stays with you for a long, long time. You learn to put a barrier up so you don't get hurt. I was made to feel like a bad person just for being myself. It would take lots of hard work to uncondition all the beliefs and that were installed inside of me. To learn to love and accept myself and know what I am worthy and I do deserve to be loved, to be me. No child should have to go through this hell growing up. Children are pure and innocent souls who should be cherished, loved unconditionally and made to feel safe at all times. It breaks my heart with what is happening and has been happening for such a long time, all the innocent children. These cruel, evil people need to be stopped, brought to justice and punished for what they've done and doing now. My message to all today is when you go home, you come with your children and you tell them you love them. Because I'll always remember that.